guide to how learning works. I'm Neil Almond, but this course actually isn't about me. It's a set of conversations that I had with a lady called Sarah Smith, who's probably one of the most sublime facilitators that I know. She's also an incredible executive coach. And what I wanted to try and do with her was lead out some of the wisdom that she has around working with groups. So I was asking her questions about the process of learning, stages of learning, what actually is cognitive dissonance and what impact does it have, the difference between surface learning and deep learning. And what made these interviews so powerful for me was that Sarah does have this incredible experience and the ability to apply something practically into the world. She's a former deputy head of professional development at Cranfield University, but she's also got this power as a positive psychologist that enables her to blend theory and practice. So these aren't a set of videos that teach you something like Honey and Mumford, for instance, in terms of learning styles. But what instead it tries to do is say, how would something like that work within a facilitated group? So it's quite an advanced, I suppose, program for facilitators and coaches to reflect on how learning actually works. Probably the best thing to do, have a listen to a couple of clips with Sarah from the program, get a feel for whether you like her style. I'd be very surprised if you don't.
So if, for example, we take the activist, which is probably the most widely used one is the Honey and Mumford. So we take the kind of activist approach, reflector, then the theorist, and then the pragmatist. Actually, what Honey and Mumford are suggesting is that these are stages that map across into what is actually an experiential learning cycle. And that good deep learning requires moving through all of those. So whilst you might find it helpful to think about learning styles in terms of have people developed in whatever way, and we could debate whether that's innate or whether or not that's something that's a kind of socialized process, a learned process. If individuals have a way in which they like to learn, actually is it more helpful for them to be able to learn using some of those other different approaches in order to get more depth and more insight out of their learning experience?
I find every moment I spend with Sarah is profound. I hope you enjoyed those clips. If you did, then why not consider going on to the next couple of videos? We've unlocked the first few videos of this program so that you can really get a feel for whether this is going to be for you or not. If it is, then absolutely come on in and join us. And I mean, who's it for, I suppose, might be something to think about as well. Well, if you're a coach or a facilitator or a trainer, this is an incredible opportunity to just reflect on that process of learning. Some of the stuff we're talking about, I'm hoping, is going to be familiar to you. What might be different is Sarah's take on it, that ability to think of it as a facilitator and think about what's the stuff that actually makes the difference. So if that's going to be useful to you, please, as I say, we've unlocked the first few videos. Go click on them, have a look. If you enjoy them, then feel free to join us for the whole program. We'd be absolutely delighted to share it with you.